What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Yeah. All right, my friends. Look, we have a guest on this morning. Her name is Robin. She has a new take on fake it until you make it. All right. As you can see this morning, I'm showing off some beautiful art from my daughter. She gave it to me recently for my birthday, so please enjoy. And also help me welcome to the show, Robin. What's up? You're live.
Hi.
You're really live this time.
Yes, really live, really here.
Welcome to the show. My family is from upstate New York. Part of it, anyways. My mother's side, Jamestown. Where are you calling in from?
Awesome. So I'm from upstate New York, but I live in Wisconsin, in Madison.
Okay. Have you been there all your life?
I lived in New York pretty much my whole life until I was like 20s. And then
Might want to mute that because that
sorry.
just blew out my eardrum.
Oh,
But
sorry.
no,
I don't
I'm
even
just playing.
know if I know how to.
Oh, really? That notified on your computer? Oh my gosh! See, you don't have to be. I have those same kind of struggles when people ask me to do simple things. You know what I think you could do? Right click on the FaceTime or the messages thing, and then just quit it. I think that
Okay.
should work. Yeah. See, I know some secrets to these interwebs.
You got this.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, we're going to ask you to multitask and tell us how you found Legendary and a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So my daughter, I have a 17-year-old daughter. She obviously loves TikTok as like any other teenager, I think. So she kind of introduced me to TikTok earlier this year, I would say. And then I just kind of started going on there a little bit more. And then I saw people making money on there. And I was like, this can't be real. And I'm just going to keep ignoring it. So I did for a really long time. And then I started to, get more interested. And the more I looked into it and like looked into the programs and stuff, that's when I found Legendary. There was one person in particular that I kept following, and I'm like, she is such a real person. Like, she's not scammy or anything. Like, I can't believe that she's putting all this out there if it's not real. So she's the one that got me to sign up. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And who is that?
Jessica Zion.
She was just mentioned yesterday. God, I know Jessica. Anyways. Well, that's awesome. She must be kicking some major tail out there and touching some hearts and some minds of some folks. So, what happened once you signed up and began going through the challenge?
Yeah. So I signed up. Gosh, I want to say it was like late September. And my current like regular job, I work a lot. I'm like a pharmacy retail manager, and it's very demanding. So I was like, I don't know if I can really devote like even an hour or two a day to it. So I was really nervous starting. So I signed up, and then I didn't even start it for probably like a week later. So so I finally did.
So you just kind of like signed up, like you like bought it, and then you just like clicked out, and then you were like, I'll get back to this kind of thing.
I think I signed up, and in my mind, I was like, if I do this, I know that I'm going to have to come back and actually follow through with it instead of if I just keep scrolling. Like, it was one of those times where I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. So I signed up, and like, I obviously didn't start right away, but I knew I couldn't. It was probably like a Monday or Tuesday or something. I don't know. And so then, yeah, it was probably a week or so later. Then I was like, all right, today is the day. Like, this is when I'm going to start. And then I did pretty decent at doing it like once a day after that. But then like waiting for the decade in a day, I think it was like I had like a week in between. So it probably took like a little over 3 weeks to get through all the training and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of how I got started. It was like I knew I wanted to do it, and I think just that first little step really pushed me to kind of get going instead of stopping like the scroll.
Right. The old scoliosis. Does anybody ever come? Do you have any medication for that at the pharmacy? That diagnosis, the old scoliosis, because I think we could all use a couple of doses of that each day.
Yeah. If there was something for that, it would be out of stock daily.
Right. Like go to the pharmacist and be like, my thumb just won't stop doing this here.
Yeah.
Like, do you have anything? We need to like put our thumbs. We need to put our hands and our thumbs in like those thumb braces.
Yes.
Wow, that. Oh, I better quit sharing. That might be $1 million idea.
Yes.
Like I come on like, and I'm like, are you struggling with the unstoppable scroll? Well, you may be suffering from scoliosis, right? And we have the cure. Put your hand in this thing and your fingers can move, but your thumb can't.
Oh my gosh.
That would be an instant seller.
It would be.
3
Absolutely.
easy payments of $19.95. And if you buy now, we'll double your order. One for you and one for your spouse.
But not only that, we're going to throw in another one too.
Yeah, my wife. Yeah. She's talking about the things you can lock your phone in a box and you can't open it for a certain amount of time. But like I know people who have done that and then broke into the box. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't feel like I'm gonna jump down your throat if a notification goes off, for God's sakes.
Okay.
So like this fake it till you make it thing. We titled this show A New Take on Fake It Till You Make It. So explain to us what you mean by that.
Absolutely. So like I said, my current job is pretty demanding, and I probably work like, I don't know, on a really easy week, it's 40 hours, maybe 45, but then it just goes up from there. So I would say, especially in the beginning, there were times where I would get frustrated. Like I wanted to put more time into this and into learning. And I found out really quickly that even though you think you have time to do it, you have to be mentally ready to learn and to like receive that information so that it's actually valuable to you. So I feel like I spent too much time getting frustrated and getting down on myself for that, and then learned how to turn it positive. And so that's where like the fake it till you make it kind of comes in. Like instead of being negative and having that mentality that, this is harder than you think it is, or it's going to take more time than you think it is. As soon as I turned it into like a positive, like, okay, I have a half an hour, I can truly like devote myself to, redoing a video or relearning this bit. And that's what I can do today. So as soon as I kind of changed it to just be positive about it instead of being negative. Like I wasn't getting further really, but only like baby steps. But it still changed everything because I was retaining what I was learning and then growing from that instead of just getting frustrated with things.
Yeah. So basically are you, let me repeat back to you to see if I am understanding kind of how the context of what you're saying. Are you saying that basically, even though I'm frustrated, even though this is difficult and hard, basically I'm going to just kind of pretend it's fun and pretend that I'm happy doing it. And then it somehow, if I speak that into existence and pretend that it's fun, like eventually after a couple of minutes or whatever, it becomes fun because I'm like almost going back into my, I don't know, inner child and like pretend it. Like, is that what you're saying? Is that the perspective that you're kind of viewing things through?
Yeah, I think kind of that's it's kind of exactly what I'm saying. Like, because I think the more that I was positive about it, like I could see that I was making progress. And even though maybe I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be,
Yeah.
it was still progress. Whereas before, like if I was being really negative about it, I wasn't making progress.
Yeah.
I was just feeling defeated, you
Sure.
know. And I would just, make it a point to stay positive and just to try to learn one thing like every day. And even
Yeah.
now, like I still do that because obviously there's so much more that I can learn. I think everyone can always learn
Yeah.
more. Um,
Right.
but that's what's so great about this community. And, the Facebook group for me has been like the best source to go to. It's amazing. You can go in there and just like search keywords, and that will bring up loads of discussions. And then you realize you're not on an island by yourself. And
Yeah.
there's other people that had the same questions that you did. And maybe you don't even have to post in there because they've already answered it for you.
Right. Right.
It's quicker than you think.
Also, you said that you're a blueprint student, is that right?
Yep.
So if you go into the replays of the weekly coaching calls, you can also search that page, and you can even do a quick search, Command F, and that'll bring up a little search bar on your your screen. And if you got a bridge page or an email question, you could quickly, in likely there's already also a training on that in
Yeah.
those over 100 replays of those weekly training calls. So for those of you who are blueprint students, there's a lot more gold in there. Sometimes the gold comes from just the discussions or the training calls. It's not always in a video where it's like me training and just speaking. There's a lot of gold in those Thursday coaching calls in the discussion. And you're right, Robin, somebody there's not an if, it's who had the question and how recently was it,
Yeah.
exactly what you're dealing with. And I'm glad that you're finding just simply in the Facebook community, which we have a couple. We have one that's a kind of a general public. We have one for the blueprints, and then we have one for affiliates. So we also try to keep our Facebook groups here at Legendary very specific and on topic. So keep in mind, if you're new to the community, we do have those 3 Facebook groups. So you could be a little bit more laser targeted with your question, depending on what it's about.
Absolutely. Yes. That is, and I should have mentioned that also. I think there was a couple times that when I went into Facebook to search for something, it redirected, like the conversation that I was following redirected you back to the blueprints. And I was like, okay, so that's exactly where that is. And then I could go back to that piece too. Whereas
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of that before, just going back. But sometimes it's like, it's a lot of information, and just
Sure.
having that piece to search and narrow it down really helps.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the way that we've ended up being able to structure our education, you're fine, Robin. Relax. Like whatever sounds and things that are happening in your life, like, are totally cool with me. And you can mute yourself out on this as well if you wanted to. So just
Okay.
FYI. But no, totally chill. It's all good. If your dog barks or your phone goes off or whatever, I'm not the angry grandpa over here who's gonna what's going on. We want people to know that this is real and this is live and this is what I want to, with this show, allow everybody to be more comfortable with themselves on camera and know that perfectionism is one of the number one things that will kill both your happiness in life, because I struggle with that in my life, and I'm really growing through a lot of perfectionism right now and have been recently, but also in your business, trying to put out content that's perfect, trying to make the perfect video, it doesn't exist. The perfect relationship, the perfect
Yeah.
video, the perfect landing page, like the perfect anything does not exist. And I think that the quicker that we can accept that, and not just accept it, but embrace it, like
Mhm.
celebrate it, like really film it and put it out. Like the speed of implementation is a lot of times one of the biggest, I think, steps that we can take in terms of, okay, this, now that I'm recording and uploading without watching it and picking it apart and cringing and blah blah blah, because you know what, I'll cringe at my own content too. I don't go and rewatch these lives, I don't go and rewatch my videos, I record them once, because we all cringe at our own stuff, our voice. We've been picking ourselves apart our whole life. We can be completely beautiful and with just like you, Robin. I mean, somebody would look at you and say, God, and people have, I've seen it in the comments, she's beautiful, you're beautiful. But I bet that all through your life there's been certain things that you've picked apart about yourself, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we all do that. And so the quicker, when we get into this marketing game, that we can create and launch, like get it out, like
Mhm.
just post it. Don't. And I think a little bit of a challenge with TikTok and some of these things where we're going back through editing things is we're almost forced to rewatch them, which can be a barrier to us posting it.
Yes.
But man, I'm telling you, the one of the biggest, if everybody can just grasp that, like that one concept, the speed, success follows speed. And nowadays it's about, especially with TikTok, putting out 3 to 5 pieces of content per day.
Yeah.
So if you have a full-time job, or you're just want to work less hours, creating and then just posting versus picking it apart and re-recording and all this stuff is absolutely a major success hack to getting results faster.
Absolutely.
What comes up
I,
for you as I say that?
well, I think the time that I spent on like in the very beginning making videos, it just like blows my mind to think back, like, man, I could have made like 3 or 4 videos in that time that it took me to edit one video. And nobody cares. Nobody cares if your hair is parted weird. Like they don't notice that. It doesn't matter, and that's a huge piece to learn and hopefully embrace like very early on so that you don't waste all that time, you
Yeah,
know, because that's you're not going to get that back, you know.
totally. And like just for me, I like to be like totally transparent and even call out the things that I've done that have helped me. Um, that my old self would have been like, ew, or no way, that's not possible. Like I used to, even as a guy, like when I was going to record a video, think that I would want to pick out an outfit and,
Mhm.
have a different outfit in every video and all this different kind of shit. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not just women who feel like they need to get ready for the camera. It's also men. I mean, all men, we deal with that as well. Clean shaven, oh, I got a zit,
Uh,
oh, I haven't had a shower yet today.
Fix that
And
filter. Yep.
and when yeah, right. And when I started doing the Wake Up Legendary show every day, because we had always done it, but when I took it over and started doing it every day besides Wednesday when Matt does it, I I can't remember exactly at what point when I was like, okay, this is too stressful. And I just was like, I'm wearing the same shirt every fucking day. And I'm going to wear a hat every day because I don't want to worry about how I look, my hair, what I'm going to wear. And that's what I've done for literally 2 years. I've worn a black shirt. I've worn a Be Legendary hat. Sometimes the shirt is the same shirt and it's just laying on the couch that I wore 3 days in a row, and I just pick it up and put it on. I don't care anymore. I don't care if I'm clean shaven. I don't care if I got a big gnarly zit like I do right now on my neck that feels like there's 3 ingrown hairs in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Um, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? And I think, and you know what? the content is better. We've
Yeah.
been more successful with it. And I'm having fun and people love it versus, and they can tell that I'm more relaxed. You know what I mean? That's been my experience with like getting comfortable in the speed of implementation piece.
Mhm.
I would imagine, you know, you not really being a fan of probably wearing a hat, right?
Not usually, no.
How do you deal with that? I mean, how do you deal with the feeling like you need to get ready and, you know, all that kind of stuff? Like, are you battling with that at all? Like, what right now is keeping you from publishing as fast as you could possibly be? And what do you think that you could do in the next week or month or so to kind of speed that up?
Absolutely. I think from where I started to where I am now, I think I've improved drastically in caring about what I look like on the camera. But I can definitely still improve. Like I remember the first time that I did a video without makeup on, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrendous." And I just hit post, and it was fine. And I'm like, why do we care about that so much, you know? So I think it's just going to be like a continuous kind of progress to improve on it. And you're probably going to get better every day, but now like I give myself time limits and I try
Mm.
to so I have a 17-year-old and a 2-year-old, and the 2-year-old is refusing to nap on the weekends now. So I used to do a lot of videos on the weekends during his nap time.
Mhm.
And even some of the last ones I just posted, you can see he's like on the side of me because he snuck in while I was making a video. And I'm like, all right, that's all right. But it's, you know, I try to do them in groups, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
have an hour and I'm going to do, you know, shoot 10 videos at least
Yeah.
in an hour. And then I can go back and edit them when we're, you know, watching TV at night or something like that. But
Yeah.
I think, like just setting that time and knowing what my goal is for that time and being like, all right, can't worry about that because I got 3 more to do at least.
Mm.
That's helped me to not spend too much time on it.
Yeah.
It's just
Nice.
making goals.
I love it. And I think that it makes you more relatable and
Absolutely.
more real. You've got kids, you know, especially if you're in the make money online side hustle entrepreneur niche. And you're talking about building a business, having time freedom, being home with your kids. Like stop trying to hide your kids from, like, and I'm talking to all of us, you know, like we don't need to hide our kids in the fact that we're at home and life is happening inside of our home. You
Yes.
know, I'm not saying go put your kids on camera if you don't want to put, but if a kid runs by in the background or climbs up on you during a video, it actually only makes the video cuter. It
Yes.
actually only makes the video like more
It's more
relatable.
and relatable. Yes, exactly. Makes you look like a real person because those are the people you're trying to talk to. They're real people and they want to make more money or want to start making money online because they're probably not already.
Yeah.
So they want to find a way to work that into their everyday life. And that's, yeah, I agree. That's exactly the
Well,
people that I'm trying to reach.
totally, totally. Well, gosh, thank you for a really powerful conversation this morning. And I know that you're breaking out of your comfort zones. You said that in the email that you wrote us when we invited you on the show, and you know, it looks great on you. You know, it looks you getting outside of, I know this show was probably even you stepping outside of your comfort zone. So it looks fantastic on you. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep
Thank
up the great work. We got your TikTok handle up. People can go and reach out and follow you and support you and lift you up and gain inspiration from you and follow your journey. And please come back and keep us posted here in a couple of months on how it's going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
All right, Robin, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
See ya. All right, my friends, you can go and follow Robin on TikTok at Side Hustle Hacks W Robin. short for with Robin. Side hustle hacks, W Robin. So side hustle hacks with Robin. Yeah, wow. A lot of powerful topics there in that conversation, from the fake it till you make it, which to me is about getting a different perspective, and even, yeah, I mean, tapping into your inner child and just pretending. I think sometimes we forget, like, what it's like to both pretend and what it's like to dream and what it's like to play. A lot of times, I tell and have been told, learn how to play. Learn how to play again. You don't always have to work. Everything doesn't always have to be hard and miserable. We forget how to play and be playful. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we can take away and implement into our marketing, is just a playfulness and a pretending. And we don't have to lie, but we can be whoever we want. You can be the most confident version of yourself. You can be the most, you know, outrageous version of yourself. You can be the happiest version of yourself. Like, you can be that. You can give yourself permission to pretend at first to be the most confident, most successful, most happiest version of yourself. And then what's weird about it is that, some really smart scientists that know a lot about brains have told us recently that we can rewire our brain. If we act ourselves into a new way of thinking, we'll eventually start believing that about ourselves, that we actually are the happiest version of ourselves, the most confident version of ourselves. Um, so yeah, re-listen to this one, if that resonates with you, and really, yeah, give Robin a follow, and follow along with her journey and see how she's doing it, because I can tell you that her primary job, working, managing pharmacies and all that stuff, those people are stressed out. I see it. I was just in the pharmacy the other day, and it's a demanding job. And so every day we're seeing people, plus 2-year-old, 17-year-old. Come on. We're seeing people who are building businesses who also have lots of other things going on in their lives, and they're still doing it. And they're coming up with creative ways to do it and be happy about it and bring out their most confident and happy versions of themselves. I mean, there is so much gold in this conversation and in these conversations that we're having every day with our actual students and clients. It's just unbelievable. So make sure that you text WUL to 813-296-8553. I'll leave that up on the screen so you can get a little notification in the morning. It's a reminder, it's a text message that'll send you right here to the show every morning on Facebook, and make it a routine to tune in and listen and comment and engage, and just soak up all of this gold, because it's so powerful to immerse yourself in this community, for a significant amount of time. You will come out on the other side a changed person, the best version of yourself. Why? Because every day you're listening to powerful, inspirational, invaluable conversations and content that will help you break through your limiting beliefs. And that, my friend, is how you become the best version of yourself. Be legendary, my friends. Get out of here. We'll see you back here for another episode tomorrow.